Aradhna. I have passed my B.Pharm 4th year in 2019. See, there was a seminar which was organized on digital health, and the speaker was Dr. Suptan Sarpur Adhikari sir. He's a great speaker, to be true. He's an independent consultant for digital health. During that very webinar, we learned a lot, and at that very time we were given some assignments. So starting with the assignment over here, guys. First was how to define the digital health. Digital health can be easily defined as the use of technology to help and improve the wellness as well as the health of the patients. You see, at present we are having lots of gadgets, monitoring of our health via other video conferencing or other equipments. All these come under this digital health only. So anything in which we are using the information and communication technologies in order to maintain the health or to improve the health is termed as digital health. So the next point was asked was the categories of standardization of HI exchange. HI means health information. There are mainly the four structures, categories to be accurate. First is structure, terminology and coding system. Third is security and privacy, which is very important at present. And the last is information interchange. During the webinar, we were given a common topic. We were actually divided in four groups, Group A, Group B, Group C and Group C, to have Group D, to have some interactions and to learn from each other as well. During that very group, I was in Group A, to be true, and in that group we were given as articles to read about. My article was on value of telemonitoring and telemedicine in heart failure management. Heart failure, you must have heard about it, but what exactly is it? Heart failure is a kind of symptom, okay? It's a chronic symptom, to be more accurate, in which the heart is having some deficiency in itself. Maybe it's not able to pump the blood or any other, like you must have heard of lots of symptoms. And it's a very common even. To properly define it, it's a clinical syndrome associated with high morbidity and mortality. Maximum around 80% of the deaths in US and Europe are due to heart failure. You know, let me first tell you about what is telehealth. Telehealth means telematics being applied to medicine to diagnose and treat people. Now we are having a lot of advancement in technology, and in future we'll have more. At present, I think 95% of people, we all are using the internet, especially during the COVID-19 conditions. So what will it help, have any effect on health? Maximum stuff that we are trying to get is at our very place only. We order stuff. How? Via internet. So we can say we all are using internet. If the internet connections and the users are increasing, slowly we are depending on internet, I can say so. So with time, we will associate ourselves with internet or other devices so as to help us, ourselves to gain more confidence and betterment in our health. You must have heard about the video conferences done during the operations or during some severe cases. They all come under this digital health itself. You see, when I was reading the article, I came to know about some very interesting facts. Like at present, there are many devices that are being invented or designed as well as used to help predict the heart failure. Can you imagine that? That's something great. So if the rehospitalization or readmission rates are reduced, that means that the person or the number of persons surviving will increase. There are many monitoring systems. For example, a remote monitoring system is developed for continuous control of clinical variables like the blood pressure, oxygen saturation, heart rate, electrocardiogram, and pulmonary pressures measuring, so as to control over the unstable syndrome of heart failure. It's just not the monitoring system. Even the artificial intelligence is being investigated for the same purpose and to put it into this use only. A cerebral heart failure model is a machine learning based framework for calculating mortality risk in heart failure. It helped to identify patients with higher risk of heart failures. So, can you imagine what benefit it gave to the public? The article even suggested that the 2016 European Society of Cardiology guidelines for diagnosis treatment of acute and chronic heart failure recommended remote patient monitoring with recommendation of grade B and level of evidence B. So we can understand the very importance of these monitoring. There are multi-sensor monitoring in CHF or chronic heart failure patients and sensitivity in the InSync Sentry optical feature for the prediction of heart failure, SenseHF. These are used to predict the heart failure, and these uses used like fluid index, breath index, and personalization parameters to predict them. And they showed the sensitivity of around 65% and specificity of 90% in predicting the acute heart failures. Not just this, there are many implant-based multi-purpose parameters telemonitoring of patients with heart failure. And it was found to be very beneficial to the public. There are many such examples in the very article. It's just not the presence of all these monitoring gadgets. It even means that there has to be persons who are frequently giving their responses. So the person who is participating, that is the patient, needs to participate more confidently and more accurately. But what is the reason that only a few are having it? Maybe a cost or lack of awareness, I guess. But if somehow the cost is managed, then these very gadgets or the new methods can help us to understand the very probability or predict the cardiac failures early. At present, the models that are being used are termed as one size fits all. This is a standard model, but this is not applicable to all. We all have a different body measurement, body fluids. So what happens is when it comes to variations, the individual variations are very much. So, to get a proper effect and proper knowledge or predicting the correct possibility of disease or the heart failures, what is needed? The thing that is needed is the personalized models. So, personalized models are made, then there is a possibility that we will get more accurate results. At present, these are used, and for example, you must have heard of video conferencing, which are being used during operations or during live classes or due to some other, just to exchange the information or the cases, to get some opinions from the seniors and other reasons. These are one such example. You must have heard of the gadgets and all, which monitor the heart rate or your blood pressure, even the steps that you use or even the steps that you follow all over the day. So that's important. So overall, the research is being going on and it's fruitful. I guess with time we will get more better uh, equipments and gadgets and telehealth will prosper a lot. The very webinar was very interesting to be true. We were able to interact with sir. We were able to talk to sir. We were able to clear our doubts and misunderstandings. We were able to understand how many opportunities we have and how many more opportunities we will get with the National Digital Health Mission, which was announced by PM Modi this year. He even told us that what else we need to do to upscale ourselves. Hopefully, we'll get more such webinars soon. Thank you.